What's happening, y'all? Welcome back to the channel. Uh, Welcome back. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, whenever you're seeing this. Just got through, of course, getting my little session in the gym, and I decided, why not go ahead and make a video. Channel is growing fast. I want to thank everybody that subscribed. I want to thank everybody that's tuning in. I got a few people that tune in the morning. Y'all that caught on to my rhythm and tune in the morning, so I appreciate you. I'm not able to see exactly who it is, but I appreciate you anyway. But yeah, this morning, real quick, man, I just wanted to share with y'all. I was having a conversation with my sister, and we was having a conversation about wisdom and love, right? I mean, wisdom and self-love. And my sister was like, we both was talking about how important wisdom is, and having wisdom. But she was like, when you don't have that self-love, wisdom don't even matter. And I thought that was very interesting, so I asked her, because immediately when she said it, it resonated with me, it resonated with me. And I was like, what's your perspective on that? And basically where she got off at, she was like, basically paraphrasing, she said, if you can have all the wisdom, you can know the right thing to do. Like, for example, she used the example of getting in a relationship and knowing that, having wisdom enough to know that it's not gonna always be roses, that sometimes you're gonna have challenges and hard times that people gonna need to heal. She said having the wisdom to understand those type of things, but not having the self-love to know when to draw the line on that wisdom. Like, for example, there's only so far that you can go when it comes to, giving that understanding that it's gonna be rough times, but then settling, settling or accepting less than you deserve from somebody on a continual basis, just because you trying to do the right thing or be compassionate, understanding, and having wisdom. So I felt like that was a conversation that a lot of people could use, and I think a lot of us experience that. I know I certainly have. I will say this. I do feel like I told my sister, I said, I think they two sides of a coin, and I think they both important, and either one could set the scales off. I told her I think wisdom is always important. Wisdom is always powerful. But I still agree with her too, though. What y'all think? Like, if you have wisdom and no self-love, or self-love and no wisdom, do you feel like, you gotta balance? You feel like one is bad? Do you feel like one is better? I feel like wisdom is this. Wisdom is knowing how to navigate due to experience, due to a lot of failures, or due to being in a situation long enough to see the ups and downs. Sometimes wisdom get passed on to you from people who had the walk. Like, there's some people who are very wise, very, very wise, and wise beyond their years. And I think that is due to just having the ability to listen. Having the ability to listen, empathize with a person, and really hear their perspective and where they're coming from and why they come to the conclusions that they come to. Because, like, there are people in your life that have that have wisdom on the topic. And I'm gonna tell y'all, even if you didn't get that wisdom from your life experience, wisdom comes from life experience. Wisdom comes from going through it and bumping your head. So if you got a certain amount of wisdom, somebody bumped their head, and you listened, it was imparted to you. You got wealth there. But to my sister's point, if you don't have that self-love, like, you can know the rules all day. Like, for example, Like they say, you shouldn't steal from nobody. Cool, you shouldn't steal. But, you know, there come circumstances in your life where you may find yourself stealing. You may find yourself in survival mode, and you never, like, if you were to judge yourself and go off of your past history, you would never steal. Like, I'm never stealing from nobody. I'm never going that low, you know. But you just never know. There's a time and a place to steal. Maybe one time now, I'm not advocating stealing, you know what I'm saying? I'm not advocating stealing from nobody. Like, you know, get your own. What I'm trying to illustrate is you know, you never know where life will bring you and what you may find yourself doing. So it's better to be open, because who you are when you're in survival mode is a different person than you are when you have some relaxation or you have a stable ground. Totally different, and both very real. But I feel like I'm losing, you know, where I was coming from. Like, the wisdom is always based off of, you know, life experience, or you being able to listen and receive from somebody that has had that experience. And I feel like wisdom compounds, because as you start to embrace wisdom and start to appreciate wisdom, it's almost like a coded language. It's like you can hear and see wisdom in things where it wouldn't even appear to you or appear to most people. But that's wisdom aspect. Self-love is me caring about myself, me being compassionate about myself, accepting myself, knowing when I use the example of stealing, like, I gotta steal right now. I don't like that I have to steal right now, but it has come. This time has come. And being able to forgive yourself. Basically, being able to do what you need to do for the continuation of yourself, you know. That's a whole other topic, right? Because that's when we move into self-preservation and selfishness. And I want to make a video about that, because I feel like the world has lied to us about selfishness. They've painted selfishness in a very bad and a very dark light, and it's pushed people away from it when it's the first thing. That's the first thing. How is selfishness wrong if you are a single entity as a physical specimen? You know, as a physical specimen. If you are guilty about being a physical specimen, then you're not going to follow your own thinking. You're going to 9 times out of 10 block your own intuition, and you're going to be looking outside of you. That plays right into the hand of somebody who's trying to control you or manipulate you. Hint, hint, the government. Hint, hint, social programming. That's a whole another conversation. But yeah, man, self-love is very important. And I think self-love, the wisdom, like knowledge and love, like that self-love, that compassion for yourself, like self-love gives you the ability to set boundaries. Self-love gives you the ability to say no. Self-love gives you permission to dream. Self-love gives you permission to feel. You can go cry if you need to. You know, this gives you permission to show up for yourself. You know, and these things are important. You can have the wisdom all day. I had the wisdom all along. I always loved wisdom, but I didn't always have a self-love, you know. So sometimes I would be, you know, knowing exactly what to speak to somebody, and people, you know, uplifted and feeling good when I'm alone. But then when I get amongst people, you know, I'm always feeling drained. I'm always feeling tired. I'm always giving myself to people, trying to heal people that really don't want it. They just want that energy. They want that validation that your presence gives them. They want that energy from you, that pure energy from you, though, pure intention energy from you. You know. So yeah, self-love, y'all. Self-love is important. Self-love is of the utmost important. My sister said, if you get your self-love together, you don't even need the wisdom. Thought that was funny. But I mean, hey, I think there's some value to that. I think if you have self-love, wisdom it kind of follows. Wisdom is attracted to self-love, just like masculine is attracted to feminine. And I think self-love is also attracted to wisdom. You know, I don't know. This was a kind of weird topic, I guess. Maybe not. But I just thought that was a very powerful conversation. I thought there was some news that more people could use. What y'all think about that? Y'all got any ideas on that, like wisdom or knowledge versus self-love? What lessons have you learned about self-love that you feel is kind of slept upon? You know, like what have you learned about self-love, and how important do you think it is? Y'all, let me know in the comment section what you think about that. And for those who I'll just leave it at that. I wanna know some of y'all thoughts. When you come across this video and you feel so cool to share, like, yeah, let's talk about it. What y'all think about that? But yeah, real quick, man. Another thing before I get off of here, another thing I want to touch on is the gym. I don't have to explain this, but and I just want to touch on that. I want to touch on that. Different people, y'all, go exercise and stuff for different reasons, right? And I don't know any of those reasons. But I'd say, I'd encourage y'all, and I'm just gonna do it once, and then I'm gonna get off the topic. I encourage y'all, like, I strongly encourage you to give your body some exercise. Give your body some exercise. You don't have to be in the gym. You don't have to be lifting weights. If you just go for a walk, give it something. And you don't have to. It's not necessary, but this is why I do it. Okay, first off, I've always kind of been athletic. I didn't really pursue sports in school because I was so focused on art and stuff like that. I was focused on a whole other career path and family, and I was somewhere else, but I always enjoyed it. But y'all, your body, like, of course people say your body is your vessel, but what you put in it, it gives it back to you. I started working out consistently back in 2023. I made a decision to work out consistently then. And I started very, very small. Before that, y'all, I was depressed. I was deeply depressed. I was laying in bed every single day. I did not get up. I was going through a lot of shit. And I was going through a very dark period that I felt like I would never come out of. And I'm grateful for that now. And I'm talking about it lasted for years. It lasted for years. So if you've been going through something for a long time that you feel like will never change, and it's like a deep, dark depression, an agony, and you just kind of feel like life don't have no color, no meaning, I'm here to tell you, you can come out of that. And even more than that, if you find yourself in something that deep, like that, and it just feels like it's been there forever and it's not gonna leave, you are in a process of moving to a new life and a new version of yourself. And it may seem like you're going somewhere you haven't been before, but you're going deep into what you are and your truth. It's a reason why those friends don't feel like friends no more. Those hobbies don't do it for you no more. Feel empty. There's a reason why everything feels empty, because you're being recalibrated. You're being taken deeper into what's important to you. You realize and recognize that none of this shit really matters. That kind of contradicts my point about the body, but for me, the reason why I exercise, the reason why I keep it up is because I realize very shortly that it gives me energy. Exercising gives me energy. I started going to the gym, y'all. Like I say, I started small. I started with just showing up to the gym, doing one thing, and leaving because I was too depressed to do anything else. It was already super. I've been going ham now, but me going ham now is equivalent to at the beginning just going to the gym. That's how heavy life was for me. So don't be discouraged. If life is heavy for you, that shit can lift, and it probably will. Just survive, because your survival is gonna make you 10,000 times more stronger than you could have ever imagined. I encourage you to do some exercise. Pour that energy back into your body. It's gonna give it back to you. You're gonna be less tired when you're doing things. It kind of helps charge your physical energy. We've been talking about manifestation a lot, right? So how it helps in that regard is if I have something on my mind and the next step of the manifestation is causing me to walk over there. Like it's causing me to walk somewhere. If I have my body, if I've been exercising my body, what it ultimately do, in my perspective, is it tunes your physical specimen vehicle into your mind and spirit, to where if you want to do something, your body will move to it. Because think about it, exercise and all that shit, it hurts, it's agitating, it's irritating, but you're pushing yourself to do it, and your body is adjusting. You're telling your body to do that. If our bodies could choose, it wouldn't do nothing. We'd be lounging around like the animals do. But the animals be full of muscle. I don't know. I'm gonna leave that there. Yeah, it's not a guilt thing. I just encourage you, like, give yourself something. You know, you deserve it. It gives back to you. You ain't gotta go for the physique. At this point, I'm not going for the physique. I'm going for the lifestyle. And my biggest inspiration in the gym, y'all, is seeing those older people. I saw this older lady. She was like maybe 70, 80 years old. No, she was 70 something in the gym. And she was in that bitch she was moving slow, but she was getting it. And I seen big, you know, cock strong motherfuckers in there, but that was what inspired me. If I make it to 70 years old, I want to be able to move like that. Another thing that inspired me is my mom and my dad died from being unwell and you know, really not taking care of their vessel. So, I mean, we all gonna pass anyway. I think even better than you know, exercising and all that is just for you to live a life that feels true to you and joyous to you. If you never exercise, as long as you content and enjoy, you right where you need to be. So, I'm sorry excuse me if I rambled. I don't know if this video makes sense. I hope you got something out of it anyway. With that being said, today may be a good day. Today may be a little rough day. It's cool. You might be at the pinnacle of your success, or you might be barely making ends meet. Either way it go. The best way that you can come from is right where you are. Not perfect, just real. All right? I wish you peace, love, and abundance every single day, especially with it rain. With that being said, I am out.